Welcome to Salem, Massachusetts, a city whose name is famous in early American history. While most people associate Salem with the witch trials of 1692, the story did not end there. By the late 19th century, Salem was a prosperous seaport, a manufacturing hub, and a city reinventing itself for a new era. Today, we'll use the 1890 Sanborn Fire Insurance Map to walk through Salem as it stood at the dawn of the Gilded Age. The Sanborn maps were created to help insurance companies assess fire risk, but they also captured a detailed snapshot of urban life. Every building, business, every factory, it was all carefully recorded on the Sanborn maps. In 1890, Salem was already an old city by American standards, with nearly 260 years of history behind it. The map reveals a city that was both deeply historic and distinctly modern for its time. Salem's harbor had been the heart of the city since the 17th century. By 1890, the golden age of Salem's merchant fleet was long past. The clipper ships that once circled the globe had given way to larger ports like Boston and New York. Still, the waterfront remained active. Page 8 of the Sanborn map shows warehouses, wharves, and factories, particularly around the Derby Wharf and the South River. Industries like leather, textiles, and machinery filled the void left by the maritime trade, and Salem became known for its tanning and shoe manufacturing. Moving inland, the heart of the city lay around Essex and Washington Streets. This map highlights blocks crowded with brick, commercial buildings, hotels, and public halls. Just a short walk away stood Salem's old town hall and the courthouses along Federal Street. In 1890, Salem's population was about 30,000 and the streets bustled with a mix of old New England families, new immigrants, shopkeepers, and factory workers. This Sanborn map also reveals Salem's residential neighborhoods. Wooden frame houses dominate the map. They're painted in yellow by the surveyors and labeled with the letter D. Many of these neighborhoods had grown rapidly in the 19th century as workers arrived to staff the factories. At the same time, pockets of wealth remained. Federal-style mansions and Georgian homes from the city's maritime glory days dotted the landscape, reminders of the fortunes once made from the sea. There are so many of these historic homes in Salem that I will need to do another video just to focus on those. If you would be interested in seeing a video that goes more in depth of the old homes of Salem, let me know in the comments below by typing the house emoji. One thing that stands out in Salem's 1890 map is the density of churches. Congregational, Methodist, Catholic, Episcopal, Baptist churches, they all had a presence. Just like on this one page of the Sanborn map, we see several large churches. This is page 20 of the 1890 Salem map. We've got the First Baptist Church here. We already looked at the courthouse. We've got a tabernacle congregational church with its adjoining chapel. Down here we have the Wesley ME Church. Of course, Salem in 1890 could not escape its past. Though the witch trials were 2 centuries earlier, they remained part of the city's identity. The home of Judge Jonathan Corrin, also called the Witch House, is one of the only structures still standing in Salem with direct ties to the witchcraft trials of 1692. The Witch House is located at 310 Essex Street on the corner of Essex and North Streets. So it shows up on page 21 of the Sanborn maps. This is what it looks like now on Google Street View, or the Google Satellite View. And then this is the house on Street View. We can also see the House of Seven Gables located at 115 Derby Street, the house made famous by Nathaniel Hawthorne's novel. So this is what the House of Seven Gables looked like about 100 years ago. It's a very similar photo to what's on the book. But here on the Sanborn map, this shows up on page 8, and it's Derby Street 115 right here. And the house is still standing. It's right here where this red arrow is. And then the street view, we see that it's still there, it's still standing. The Old Burying Point Cemetery, also known as the Charter Street Cemetery, is the oldest maintained cemetery in Salem and among the oldest in the United States. This cemetery is located on page 7, and it takes up this spot right here that's labeled 95. And then we look at over here at Google, and it's right here. So off of Charter Street, it's bordered by Charter Street, Central, Derby, and Liberty. And here in the map, it was the same, Charter, Central, Derby, and then it cuts off, but this is Liberty. The 1890 Sanborn map of Salem gives us a view of a city in transition. It was no longer the maritime powerhouse of the past, but it was not yet the tourism capital that we know today. Thanks for joining me on this journey through Salem, Massachusetts in 1890. If you enjoyed this look into the past through Sanborn maps, make sure to like, subscribe, and join me for our next stop in history. As always, thanks for stopping by.